Real people, real opinions, Real Talk Radio. The multi-award winning Niall Boylan Show.
Ireland's classic hits.
Hi Niall, I'm mortified writing this, but hoping you can help. I came home last night with what I thought was a great deal. A 65-inch flat screen smart TV and DVD player. Who buys a DVD player for €350? Who buys a DVD player anymore? Does anyone? Hands up, who buys a DVD player? Anyway, it's absolutely unreal. Unfortunately, the missus went mad because I didn't tell her first. Or sorry, I didn't ask her. She told me that it was unacceptable and I am to contact her in future before any big purchases. This is the same woman who gets her lashes done, her hair done every other week. She stays at home with her youngest and she's a great ma'am, but she seems to think she's in charge of the finances. I never question her when she arrives home with 4 bags of stuff in her hand from Pennies. I never question her when she gets another handbag online that she's bought on eBay. I never question her when she adds to the 300 pairs of shoes she already has. But yet I come home with a €350 telly and there's an investigation. We have a joint account. I keep a bit to the side, a bit for gambling, but that's on the QT. What do you think? You shouldn't be gambling, by the way. What do you think? Is this unreasonable, says Tom. Now, if you have a joint account and if you work together as a team, if you are buying a purchase, you probably should run it past your missus. On the other hand, your missus having some sort of control over you financially is not a good thing too. So I don't know where people stand on this. Should you have to run purchases past your missus? Or vice versa? Should you have to run purchases past your husband if you want to buy a new handbag, ladies? Let us know, or get your nails done, or your eyelashes. Eyelashes. Who is he? Maybe he means eyebrows. They don't get their eyelashes done. They just buy fake ones. Anyway, the number is 087 188 0008. That's 087 188 0008. If you're getting a purchase or, buying a little treat for yourself, do you have to run it past your other half first? Let us know what you think. 087 188 0008. Kevin, hi, how are you?
I'm good, Niall. Are you?
I'm good.
Good to hear. Look, this guy sounds surprised. Well, he's either very young or he's just never realised what's happening underneath his own nose.
He's a bit naive, is he?
Where's the surprise here? I don't think there's any man surprised at that reaction. He's dipping into her makeup money, So, he took the word out of my mouth. She's going off. Sure, look, I'll get around. I'll bit of nookie tonight and he'd be grand, put him at ease. But this is what the thing is. That's a typical Irish way, women's way of doing it. I rule the roost, and they buy and sell men 6 days a week and twice on Sunday, right? But this is why I kind of have a thing where, I'm glad to hear he has a separate bank account.
No, he doesn't.
He said he has a separate bank account for a bit of gambling.
No, he says we have a joint account, but I keep a bit on the side for gambling on the QT. I reckon he's keeping a bit of cash on the side.
Oh, all right. This is where I look. I know you've had this conversation before. Definitely, couples should have a joint bank account to cover the bills, and whatever you do with your own money, then you do what you do.
Yeah, I think the days of having a single joint account between the two of you, and that's all you have, I think those days are gone. That was kind of old school, wasn't it? Yeah,
but I think a lot of banks now, I'm not too sure now. I work with a lot of younger people getting mortgages, and I think do you have to have a joint bank account to see all the pooled money going in or something?
No, I don't think you have to have a joint account. I don't know. Jane, she might know. She's a younger person. Do you have to have a joint bank account to get a mortgage together? No, you don't.
See all the money.
No, she says I hope not. In other words, she has a plan there, and she doesn't have a joint bank account. So no, I don't think. I don't think you have to. No.
That's fine. Well, then I'd be for that. Look, I can't believe. I'm just.
But was there anything wrong with him going out? He's walking through whatever. Let's say it was Harvey Norman's. I don't know where we got the deal, right? So he's walking through, let's say, Harvey Norman's, and he sees this 65-inch telly for €350 with a free DVD player.
And they saw him coming.
They did. Yeah. And I mean, was there anything wrong with him just going, feck it, go on, give us it?
Yeah, if he'd come home with a midlife crisis car, I could understand the outrage, and it's on hire purchase, and it's kind of, it's the midlife crisis purchase. Yeah, I can understand the reaction, but for that and that basic piece of rubbish, what's that? That's nothing.
Mm.
And like got that, and like the bags that she's coming home with, that's what the stuff she's probably buying on online.
Yeah.
And the stuff that's coming to the door that he's not out working.
Yeah, but he's not questioning that. I mean, he said that when she arrives home with 3 and 4 bags from Pennies and gets her lashes done and her tan done or her nails done and her hair done every second week. He doesn't question that. And let me be clear about it. If she's going and getting her hair done, all I need is to get one woman on the air and she'll tell you how much that costs.
Oh God, I know.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I've
it's quarter of the price of a telly.
And that's
and you can't look at that all night.
No. What she'll go home, she'll no pun intended. She'll flutter the eyelashes, and then I deserve.
They're gas. They come home with like 4 bags from Pennies, and they go, "When you see what I got, look at them slippers. They were only $3.99. Look at this top. It was only $9.99." And they just keep pulling stuff out of the bag. It's like a TARDIS.
Yeah, anyway. Go. I guarantee you go up to most men's or couples' wardrobes. The men's stuff stuffed in the corner to the left hand side.
Yeah, 5 shorts and 5 pairs of jeans. Yeah,
crammed in there. And the walk-in wardrobe is full of horse stuff and the shoes. But haven't seen the light of day since they left the shop.
And then on the one night that you do decide to go out, she'll turn around to you and say, "I've nothing to wear."
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Stay there. Let's get a female point of view with this. Niamh, hi.
Oh,
Hi, Niall, how are you?
Good. You've nothing to wear. Sure, you haven't.
Oh, not a stitch.
If you, Niamh, if you were going out, if you were told, listen, you're going to ceremony on Saturday night, would you have anything to wear?
Not a thing. I don't go anywhere. No life at all.
Would you
unless
have a wardrobe full of stuff, haven't you? You have a wardrobe full of stuff, but you've nothing to wear.
Not really. Actually, not really at the moment. No, because I'm at home with my injury. I'm just quite happy in my jeans and my tops. But I tend to be kind of a seasonal buyer. I'll get stuff for summer and I'll get stuff for winter. And
right, okay.
Enough.
Okay, so you're not the glam girl.
Not really.
No, okay.
No,
okay,
no,
so was there anything wrong with him arriving home? So let's say your other half, he doesn't arrive home with the beans with the added sugar, right? Which is what he did the last time there was a row. So this time he arrives home and he's struggling through the door, and the door opens and you see this box being slid in with, your smart, I don't know, QLED, LED, 65-inch TV and a free DVD. You're not going to believe this, honey. And you're looking at it going, what is that? Okay, let me just tell you the story.
All,
can we do the scene? Can we just do the scene?
Yes, go on. Do the
okay,
scene.
I'll do the scene. Kevin, do you want to be the actor or will I?
I don't mind.
Let Kevin do it. No, let Kevin do it. Go on.
Right, you do it. You do it,
Kevin.
Okay, so I'll do the noise coming in the door, okay?
Right. What?
All right.
Hey. Right, okay. Romy's all right. Hey, how you doing? Look, you won't believe what I just got. Bargain of a lifetime. Haven't seen this, and I just saw it, had to have it. What do you think? And first, it's 380 bargain basement.
The silence from Niamh says it all. But go on, Niamh.
No, first of all, Kevin, right, so, love, did you go shopping in 1985? Because what are we going to do with the DVD player? So you can bring that back.
It's built in.
Second of all, it's built in. Oh, fair enough, right? Well, we'll have to go out and go back in time and buy some DVDs. But to be totally honest, I love my TV, so I'd be delighted. And I thought I heard it wrong. I thought you said he spent €900.
No, 350.
350.
Yeah, but you're talking. Hang on, you're talking to Kevin. Yeah, you're talking to Kevin.
Sorry, Kevin.
He's your husband.
350 for. Now, Kevin, have you checked the bank account? Have all the direct debits gone out?
But yeah,
are we okay?
But this is
are we
only
okay for the month?
And
yeah, but are we okay for the month? Are we on sure?
You're not listening. You're not listening to your wife, Kevin.
Yeah, you need to listen now, Kevin. We're going to have a row. No dinner for a week.
No,
Kevin. But you're treating both of us. You're treating both of us.
It's a random one-off purchase. I can put it in the little man cave that I have set up in the house. So you don't need to see it, and my dodgy DVD player, and it's a one-off. I'll never do it again. It was a random bargain. Had to have it. It was a giveaway. When do I get to treat myself? Look at all the stuff you come home with. And
if you were, yeah, but I'm not fighting with you. If you just bought a 65-inch TV, it's not going in the man cave. I love my TV. Fair play to you. You found a great bargain. But if it was €900, now you'd expect at least a phone call for €900.
Oh, well, of course I would. Yeah, of course I would. I'd never overstep that boundary.
Honey.
But a bargain's a bargain.
You're meant to be calling her honey and darling and things like that. She's your wife, for God's sake, Kevin.
Oh yeah, sorry. Been out of practice a while now.
So I'm not used to hearing that either.
But hang on, Niamh made a good point.
You fell into it quite naturally there.
Kevin, Niamh made a good point. And when she said to you, with her hand on her hip, tapping her foot, did you check to make sure all the direct debits for the bills had come out before you bought it?
Does she?
What?
Do you, honey?
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
sure.
now, all joking aside, the most important thing in my world is making sure the rent is paid first, because I'm second terrified of it. Once the rent is paid, we can cope with everything else being switched off. Just don't put us out of the house for a sake of a 65-inch TV. Once we've covered the mortgage and the rent this month, how about it? It's €350. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad.
No, you're all
Oh,
right.
I thought it was €900.
Well, $350.
That's why I said, you'd expect at least a phone call, because that's a lot of money.
But do you expect a phone call for $350, Niamh?
If it was something that my other half saw on the way home, and he said, "Oh, listen, it's a great bargain, and I know the state of our finances were okay," no, I'd be delighted with a 65-inch TV for $350. I want to know where he got it.
Let's say it wasn't a TV. Let's say it was something for him. I don't know. VR headset or something.
But why shouldn't he? I mean, I do stuff for me, and he doesn't question it. Now, I will say it to him. I don't ask him, because we don't have that sort of relationship where he comes to me and says, "Can I?"
But should you have to run purchases, over, say, a tenner? Should you have to run purchases past your partner?
No, because I'd never be off the phone to the fecker.
Hang on. Your sister's coming in on the line here. Caroline.
Hello.
Yeah. Your sister and her husband are having a row here over 350 quid. You can get involved in the argument if you want to.
Here, leave it out.
Caroline, is there an issue, when I'm spending 350?
Absolutely not. If he's earning the money, he has every right to spend it.
Right. Even if he's skint, he's brassic.
Well, no, that'll be a different story. Now, if things were tight, you'd have to kind of work to the budget. But, if he's working for the money, he shouldn't have to ask anyone to buy anything. It's ridiculous.
But if you're working as a team, and people work as a team, should you have to say, well, at least, you don't expect your partner to say no, but should you at least say, listen, Jez, I'm not seeing a bargain down there in Harvey Norman's, $350 for a 65-inch telly. And by the way, can I just point out to anybody listening, I don't know if there's a 65-inch telly in Harvey Norman's for $350. So don't go in tomorrow.
We'll all be running in.
If Harvey Norman's are listening, you've now got a great marketing offer here. You could just do the Niall Boylan special tomorrow, all right?
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
4 hours only.
Go on, sorry, Kevin. What are you going to say?
No, I tell you what. I can see probably the torment in this guy's face as he's looking at that TV, questioning and
is she going to go mad like?
And probably knowing she's going to flip, and I can see the thoughts going through his head, looking, wanting to buy it, and he probably stood there for a good half an hour, if not more.
Yeah, saying, is it worth the hassle?
Where's the credit card gets used without in the blink of an eye when it comes to herself. I guarantee that guy went through torment before he made that purchase.
Yeah, so let me get back to Caroline. Caroline, are you in a relationship?
No, not now, no.
Okay, but you were?
I was.
Yeah, so when you were in that relationship, was your money yours or was it ours? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, no, my money was mine. We shared the bills. We shared whatever needed to be paid. We shared it, but what I earned was mine. Now, I used to regularly get called a marketer's dream, and I would just be like, yeah, whatever. I earn it, I'll spend it.
Right, okay. So money was burning holes in your pockets, was it?
No, it wasn't.
A marketer's dream, they could sell her anything.
Yeah, well, I can tell you now, Caroline and Neve, see, are an advertiser's dream. The two of them. Because, see, any advertiser listening to a radio station will tell you what they call the ABC1 audience. And that's Caroline and Neve. So they're women, you know, generally speaking, marketers and advertisers market towards women aged between 30 and 60 years of age, because they're the ones who make all the financial decisions within the family. That's usually the rule. So, Caroline, getting back to you again. So you wouldn't have a go, even if he's a little bit low on money. Should he, even out of courtesy, say, listen, we all right this month? I'm not seeing a bargain here, honey. What do you think?
Yeah, well, if things are tight, like, and they're working to a budget and, you know, they're going to be outside the budget, then yeah, absolutely. He should definitely have at least checked himself to make sure that they were within budget and they had enough to pay everything else they had to pay.
Mm. Right, okay. And do you think that's kind of financial control is what she's doing to him?
Well, if she's making him, if she's saying to him that he's going to have to ask her every time he wants to buy something, then absolutely.
But that's what she said.
I just thought of something.
What?
If the shoe is on the other foot, there's a lot of... Now, don't get me wrong, okay? I'm not meaning any disrespect when I say this. A lot of women say they're financially controlled. But they'll see this is sort of similar situation where he can't buy anything without her say so.
Would she say?
But if it was
Pardon me, she said that to him.
it was a woman being told that, then it would be a whole different issue. If this is a woman saying that she has to clear things with her husband before she can do anything, this would be a whole different topic. It wouldn't be fun and games.
Yeah, she said, and I'm reading this here, she told me that it was unacceptable and I'm to contact her before any big purchases.
Yeah, that's financial reliability. There's
Control.
a word for it. Control, yeah. It's not. It's like another version of control. It is,
well, hold on. It is and it isn't.
It's a slippery slope there, no?
Well, it is a bit of a slippery slope, but it is and it isn't.
Hang on.
If you work, I mean, if you're a married couple, for example, you know, you're working together. You know what I mean? You work together financially. I know Caroline said what was hers and what was his, but they paid the bills together. But you generally work together as a team. That's the whole idea of marriage and a union, isn't it?
Totally agree.
Yeah.
But if he hadn't have put in his message the fact that she goes out and shopping left, right, and centre and bags of stuff coming on, then don't get me wrong.
And gets her hair done.
But it sounds like 350 is not too bad if they can afford it. Let's be honest about that. So why, for €350 in comparison to what she's spending, what's the big deal? So it does sound like a coercion.
How much is it, by the way, nowadays?
So
Caroline, sorry, how much is it to get your hair done nowadays? Peter Mark or whatever?
Well, I don't go
Let
to
me
Peter
sit
Mark
down.
or anywhere like that. I get it done with my cousin and it cost me €100.
What, for what? €100 for what?
Friends' choice.
Wash, cut, colour and blow dry.
Is that a mate's rate? £100?
Very
Yeah, it's
much
my
so.
cousin.
Jesus. Huh?
It'd be at least I'm not in Dublin, but down where I am, to get the same thing done would be at least 120, 130, maybe more. And if they throw in stuff like, oh, do you want a toner? Which none of us really know what that is, but we say yes anyway. They pull another toner onto it. It sounds good. It sounds like something your hair needs. You know, so you go, oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, conditioning treatment, yay.
Yeah, brilliant.
And then here's the
For an
funny
extra
part.
50 quid.
Here's the funny part. So you go out and get your hair done, washed, blow dried, toner, 120 quid. You come home, they come home, and then they rebrush it themselves, and they dry it again
You wash
themselves.
it? No, you have to wash it straight away. Yeah. It has to sit.
What's that about?
But if you add up and I'm not being horrible to women before all the women come on and give out to me, but if you add up what some women, not all, but what some women will spend in a month on self-care, some women go for massages, some women go to the health spa.
Their nails.
A lot of women get their nails done.
Tan.
A lot of women. If you just take nails and hair, you're coming in at around €200, which isn't an awful lot cheaper than that TV, and that's every month. His purchase was a once-off. But what he could do to get his own back is say, right, darling, that's fine. Yes, I will run every purchase by you. And when her birthday comes along, he'd say, can I have €50? I want to buy your birthday present. And she'll be disgusted. That'll be the last time she asks him for anything.
You know what tap's going to be turned off that night anyway.
Yeah. You do. Caroline, would you be spending 300 quid on yourself a month?
No.
Well, you just admitted you get your hair done for 100 quid. So there's
Yeah, I
100
get
gone.
my hair done for 100 quid. I do the nails myself. So
Right. Okay.
No.
But you have to buy the stuff for the nails, don't you? I know it's expensive, isn't it?
yeah, but
Lasts a
you
while.
get a lot of sets of nails out of a pot of gel. You know.
Oh, gel nails. Okay. And
Yeah.
what else? What about tan? Do you get a tan done?
No, I do not. I'm not very high maintenance.
Bags and shoes. What about bags and shoes?
Have enough of them.
That's
You're a
Caroline.
keeper.
She's not cheap. Caroline, women never have enough bags and shoes. You know that as well as I do.
Yeah, but I've recently I'm saving for a mortgage, so I've recently started being a little bit more logical about things and kind of saying, yeah, okay, no, I don't really need another bag. I have 10 already.
It's charity shops survive on women's bags and shoes. You know what I mean? Women bringing in their old bags and shoes because they've just run out of room to put them in. How many pairs of
Yeah.
shoes have you got, Niamh? That's
Not
enough.
that many.
The
I'd
very
say
fact you have to
less.
think about it.
No, I'm just thinking. I'd say less than 10.
Okay. Caroline, how
Very
many,
little. I mean,
Caroline, how many pairs of shoes
I
have you
don't go
got?
many places.
Can I plead the fifth on that one?
See what I mean? I can tell you straight off. I have 5 pairs of shoes.
I'm about the same myself.
Yeah, 5 pairs. I can tell you what's in my whole wardrobe. I have 3
Black and brown.
I have 3 navy suits, which I use for TV when I'm on television every now and again. I have 3 navy suits. I have about 5 pairs of jeans. I have about 5 white shirts and about 3 blue shirts, and that's it.
And you have that jacket, the Joseph and the
Oh, don't
Technicolor
mention
Dreamcoat
that.
jacket.
That's a beautiful
Yes,
jacket.
you do.
That's a lovely jacket. Just me. See when I tell you it,
You
right?
could see that from.
The jacket. Why do I know? Why do I remember this jacket story?
He was on TV. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, kind of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was on breakfast. What was it? That Piers Morgan in the morning on breakfast television in England, and the jacket. That's an amazing jacket. I can tell you now, I got more attention after that jacket because the amount of people who maybe didn't even notice what I said and they went, "What's the story with the jacket?" So I got a lot of attention out of that jacket, and I'll wear it again if I please. It's a lovely jacket.
It's a lovely jacket.
Yeah, I like that jacket. By the way, Caroline, it's a kind of navy jacket and it has gold flake on it. Yeah,
Doesn't sound too bad now, to be fair.
yeah, it doesn't. See, Neve? It's trendy. It's eye
I'd
catching,
have
Caroline.
to see it though to be sure.
It's
though.
like an explosion in a Cadbury's factory. Do you know,
But
Cadbury's
did-
roses or some quality
Did
shoes?
Liberace's estate look for it back?
It's back to this guy in the financial control. Who, by the way, Caroline, who do you think, generally speaking, has more control over finances, men or women?
Women.
Yeah, it probably is women, but it depends. Different couples are different. But just him having to run things by her, that's just an absolute joke.
Mm.
Well, would I be right in suggesting that initially it all tends to be, we'll be equal, and then over a period of time, it's just the lady's in control. It's just naturally, for men are just quite happy to leave ladies to the bookwork, the form filling out. We're men are easily pleased.
Women are
with
better at
what's
money.
up,
I mean,
paint dry.
don't get me wrong. Women are better at money.
But should it not
yeah,
come
as I
down to
said,
that?
yeah,
The person who's
100%.
better.
Yeah,
The person who's better should do it. In my house, I'm terrible. So my partner is the better person with money. He knows both sides of the euro.
he's just not
I'm
good at
dreadful.
shopping. He's just not good at shopping in supermarkets and things.
No, he
like
just doesn't listen. He just doesn't listen. Let's just call it a spade. He
Just to
doesn't-
let you know, Kevin and Caroline, in case you don't remember this, but the last major argument in Neve's relationship was over the fact he arrived home with beans with no added sugar.
Oh, vile.
Yeah,
Thank you,
No,
Caroline.
yeah,
Thank you, both of you. You see, I'm not neurotic.
yeah. You are neurotic, Neve.
Yes, I am.
That's not a reason for an argument. Let me go. Hang on. Let me go to Dermot. Dermot, hi.
How's it going?
How's it going, Dermot?
Yeah, good. Yeah, these are the problems of life with another person in your
Of
life.
the opposite sex. Yeah. The female of the
opposite.
species.
We're being diplomatic here.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the best I can say in the subject is any time I ever tried the stunt of negotiating or informing ahead, it was always, if it was met with
Hostility.
a negative hostility, that was only a symptom of they're about to dump me again.
So, is it better to ask for forgiveness than permission?
No, it's all just a symptom of you're in hot water, and you might be able to pull yourself out of it, but generally you can't. And a few of my other mates have said the same thing. Once I start that malarkey up, you should inform me about that gizmo you bought. You know, you're on the way out the door.
Oh, do you think so?
And the divorce and all the rest that goes with it.
Okay, so once she starts questioning your purchasing power, you reckon that the relationship's doomed?
You're on the slippery slope. I'm not saying it's doomed, but, you know, it's a symptom of you're on the way out the door. Been there, done that, got the T-shirt, you know, so that's the best I can say. You know, it's...
Sorry, who said what there?
What?
Well, sorry, did you say something, Niamh? Did you?
No.
Oh, it must have been Kevin, I think. It was just shouting.
No, I was going to say, look, let's be honest. The ladies and men's lives, they choose what they wear. Like, I worked in that company, Niall, you know about, and I've seen it happen. Man comes in, he might as well be an ape on a leash. he goes for the suit that he likes, but she goes for the suit that she likes. He gets to he gets to try on the one he likes, but she puts him in the one of the tree that she likes, and he buys one of the tree that she likes, and he pays for the privilege, and he keeps out the shorts, and the tie, and the shoes, and the socks. Men can't even buy underwear, for God's sake. That's how sad we are. We get them.
But that's because I suppose it's a case of wanting to pacify them. Is that why they do it?
It's what's that? Passive?
Yeah, you want to pacify them. You know, you don't want them angry.
Control them.
No. It's like...
You know, the ironic.
Do you remember those little, what's it called, those little gremlins? You know, if you got them wet, they got angry.
Oh, yeah. Gizmo.
I don't feed them after a certain midnight or whatever it was. Gizmo, yeah. He turns into Magwai. So, but they can be like that as well. You know, it's a case of kind of, I suppose, in that situation that you talk about, Kevin, with the suits, it's like, I could get the one I really wanted, but she's going to have a pissy face on her when I go out the door and she'll be at me all day saying, you should have got the other one. It was much nicer on you. Yeah, so it's just easier. It's less hassle.
An easy life.
Yeah.
But the ironic thing about this thing is now, I'd say, right, I'm just guessing it right here. He bought the TV. She's got a hump. She's in a bad mood. And then she's going to go and free herself because he did it. Where she's doing it anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what's all this stuff? Oh, well, you did it. You know, that's we just accept it. It's an easier life.
Yeah, I mean, Dermot, we should just be, as a couple, I know Caroline said she operated independently, but as a couple, you should be working together, shouldn't you? I mean, when it comes to the finances of the home and spending, it should be just mutual agreements, shouldn't it?
Well, I mean, I suppose the best way to do it might be to suggest anything that's over a certain amount of money might require a joint
decision.
Decision. But my mother used to arrive back sometimes in her time with a new fridge. Well, not quite a new car, maybe a new fridge. Which, saved my dad at the time maybe 50% of the money. Right. My dad could never figure out where this 50% he saved came or went to. So it was all.
Isn't it funny, really? You know, in the old days, if you gave a woman money, she'd come home with a new fridge, a new ironing board, or a new dishwasher. Yeah. We gave a lad some money, he's gone out for a drink.
Told how much he was saving, you know, the poor guy, you know, yeah. God rest their souls. But anyway, that's life, you know.
Okay, all right, listen, I got to go for a break. You can text us or WhatsApp us. The number's 087 188 0008. I'm glad this is a bit of fun. We needed to lighten up the mood before we get really angry later on. And I am warning you, you are going to get angry later on. I actually did the interview today on my podcast, but I decided it was so interesting, so shocking, that I wanted to share it with you. And that's why we're doing it. And it was a long interview, so we're not going to play the whole thing tonight. We're going to play it in 2 parts. And we'll play the first part just after 11 o'clock. But I guarantee you, by the end of the first part, you'll be so unhappy. And I don't mean that in some sort of satisfied way. I don't mean that to satisfy you, because at the end of the interview, I didn't know how to feel. I won't explain it to you yet. I'll explain to you a little bit later on, but I'll run that at about 11 o'clock or so. Anyway, in the meantime, let's keep the mood light. Okay, you and your partner, do you agree on purchases together, or is it okay to go out and, have a big purchase on your own and not even tell your partner, and ask for forgiveness later? This is what he did when he arrived home with his €350 65-inch television set. Everybody was having a laugh at the fact that he got a free DVD player, or it was built into it or something like that. That was his saw him coming. Nobody buys a DVD player anymore. Anyway, she lost the rag, and she said to him, in future, before you have any big purchases, you're to contact me. Martin, hi, how are you?
Good evening, Niall. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Good. Martin, look, on a serious note, the whole idea of, money in a relationship can always cause a problem. But when you're operating as a married couple in particular, let's take it that these two are married, should they have to run purchases past each other, or are they independent in their purchasing power?
Well, I can only give it to you from my perspective. I mean, I'm old stock. I think I said to you before, one of my mother's greatest tricks was allowing my father to think he was in control of the finances. And he genuinely thought that, but he wasn't, And I kind of came from that generation. And now I'm not doing a hatchet job here, but I can tell you, as like when I look back, as you know, I'm kind of going through a divorcing one. When I look back, I realise now that I was pretty good at earning money. I worked hard. I was well paid for what I did.
Yeah, you were comfortable. You were comfortable.
Reasonably. I was good at earning it. But my wife was excellent at spending it. So there was a disparity there, Now, in fairness, she never went out and made any big purchases without saying to me, I want to get this. And because I'm of a certain generation and kind of came from a certain background, I go, well, yeah, okay, we can afford it. Yeah, go ahead. But looking back, I mean, I can't think of any purchase that I ever went out, other than, for a pair of jeans here or there. I think I've said before, I'm very low maintenance, but she had the decision on what car she wanted, where she wanted to go on holidays and what have you. So I think it's just naturally, I think it's within most men. Now,
yeah, sorry about that. I get you back there. Unfortunately, your line just dropped off on me. The number is 087 188 0008. I'll get Martin back too. We'll try and get Jackie back as well there too. And Martin makes a really good point about in the old days, although my family would have been the opposite. My father was in control of the finances. So he'd arrive home every 2 weeks, and he had a good wage too. He was comfortably worked in Aer Lingus, and they got paid every 2 weeks. And all his bills were taken out of the credit union through St. Joseph's Aviation Credit Union, which was part of Aer Lingus at the time. I don't know if it's still connected to it in some way. And so whatever money he had, that was his spending money. And he would give my mother money on a Friday for the messages. That was the kind of thing, wasn't it? Give her money for the messages. And not only for the messages, but then she might get a little bonus every now and again to buy a dress for herself or to treat herself. Because that was the way kind of things were done in those days. It was kind of very different times. But as Martin said as well, there was a situation where women liked to let men think they were in control. But certainly that changed probably around the 1990s, where I think women did take control financially in a lot of relationships. Sorry, Martin, I lost you. You're back. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. No, I mean, like, as I say, I wouldn't want anyone to think I'm doing a hatchet job or anything like that. I'm just talking about from my perspective. We were a different generation. I certainly, the way I viewed it was, if the bills are paid, the kids are well, everything is sailing along. That in itself kind of fulfilled my needs. But looking back, I think so many things that I kind of, maybe I should have said, well, we don't really need that. Do you really want to go there? Because, like, there were things that ended up, you know, major purchases that I said.
I've often thought about that, how much money, I've spent since I was 18 years of age. And if somebody would hand me back all the money I spent on useless purchases or pointless purchases or purchases that I didn't get value for money for, I think I'd be a very wealthy man right now. It's amazing the amount of stuff and the amount of money and the amount of things we buy that a lot of the time we don't even use, and they end up in a recycling bank somewhere or in a skip.
Yeah, I think we all fall victim to that, marketing.
Yeah.
Like I'll give you one example, okay? And again, I don't want anyone to get the wrong impression. I'm not doing a hatchet job. My wife was a good wife. She was a good mother. I still owe her a lot insofar as the things she gave to me in my life. But she wanted to get a garden set, a table and chairs and all this, and it was from a particular outlet. I can't even remember who it was, but it was raw timber. It was pressure treated, but it hadn't been treated with kind of a preservative on the outside. That was up to the customer to decide what colour they wanted and do it themselves. And when I saw the spec on it, I said, yeah, but you do realise that will have to be treated with yacht varnish or whatever else to preserve it, because we live in Ireland. And it arrived. It went into the garden. And I kept saying to her, well, when are you actually going to, during some day when it's sunny, when are you going to go out and treat the furniture? I'll buy you whatever you need, but I'm out working. I'm on call regularly, and it just sat in the garden and rotted away.
Yeah, I know. I bought a barbecue. I remember buying a barbecue once. Not that I'm a fan of barbecue food. I bought one of those kind of Australian barbecues. I think it was like 500 quid or something. And I think it was used about 4 times. And we bought a cover for it to stop it from the rain getting at it outside. That didn't last long. That rotted away eventually. And the whole thing rotted away eventually. And it was hardly ever used. So we do buy a lot of these silly purchases, these impulse purchases. But get back to the original question, Martin. If you're married and you're out somewhere and you're in Harvey Norman's, and I mentioned Harvey Norman's again, you think I was on a cut from Harvey Norman's when I'm talking about them, but I do like Harvey Norman's. And you're in there and you see a telly and it's reduced from 1,100 quid to 570, and it's a 65-inch OLED, top of the range Sony. You think bargain. Should you purchase it without ringing your missus and going, listen, there's a deal here?
Well, on the topic of the telly, you're talking to the wrong guy. But I think the principle you're talking about. I think basically if you can afford it, if it's not going to impinge or impede
on the
your
bills,
finances, the bills you have to pay, and there's no disparity in, like you're not spending €1,500 on whatever you want, and your partner only gets to spend €50 a month on what they want. If you can afford it,
go for it.
Yeah, but I would say, to give, like,
would you give her a quick courtesy call and say, listen, honey, I'm here in Harvey's?
I would, but I'll give you an example of a purchase.
Very quickly, because I have Morris and Jackie to go to in 5 minutes.
Very quickly, okay. I really enjoy cooking, right? And when we were together, we were out and I saw a pasta machine. Now, I make my own pasta. So I thought, I'll get the pasta machine because it's very good, it's easy to roll. I used it once. Now, I think it cost a couple of €100 because they're not cheap.
Yeah, it's like when everybody bought those coffee machines about 4 years ago.
I ended up going back to where I always was, which is if I make pasta, I just cut it up with a knife. It's easier than taking all that crap out of the press and putting it together.
Like I bought a pancake maker once as well. It's easier to just put them in the pan, to be honest. Just stay there for a second. Morris, hi, how are you?
How are you doing, Niall? All right?
Good. Morris, should you ask for permission? Do you ask for permission if you're buying a purchase over, say, 100 quid?
I wouldn't say ask for permission. I'd make a family decision from both
Same
of us.
thing, isn't it?
It's both their money. Well, like, I'm not going to ring up and say, is it okay if I buy a toupee, or is it okay if I buy, a shirt or a toy? Like, but I remember when I got married first, I got a present of somebody. Just they said I was going to throw it out. They gave me a 26-inch telly with 6 buttons on it.
Remember the man?
I got married.
A Grundig, was it?
Yeah, you know that one.
Yeah.
And a Bush. I think it was a Bush.
Bush. Okay.
Yeah. And then I remember with the Pie television as well. So we progressed on. Then one day we were in Dunnes Stores, right? No, just telling you. And there was a telly there, and it was one of the big ones with the big back on it, right? and I was reduced from say 300 to 150. And I just pulled out my credit card and I said, "What do you think?" And she said, "Yeah, we can afford it."
Go
So
for
we
it.
were there with each other, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you make a joint
No,
decision. Yeah.
Yeah. It was never like, I'm out, can I buy this or can I get that? I'd buy something on impulse for her. Like, I remember one time I came home with a CD player radio.
Yeah.
And I said, "That's for Valentine's Day." She hated it. She hit it with a hammer in the end.
Why was there a row over it?
It was about it. She didn't like it. It was a nice show in the kitchen. I'm used to with the radio in the kitchen. I always have a radio on in my house. How about you?
Yeah, there's very few people. I'm actually ashamed to say this, right?
Go on.
I don't own a radio.
Wow. First thing I bought when I got married. Always had the radio on in the house. I grew up with the radio on in the kitchen.
Isn't that sad? I work in radio all my life and I don't possess a radio.
Yeah.
I listen to radio stations through the internet. Alexa.
You know what I found out recently? Your buddy on RTE, Joe Duffy, live on. He has a radio in every room in his house, even in the jacks. Because he likes listening to his own voice.
By the way, do you hear that voice in the background? You can't really hear it there.
No.
I shouldn't have mentioned the word Alexa. Because
oh, right, it came on, did it?
Oh, she's talking shite downstairs there now. Okay, well, hang on. Hang on. Let me go to Jackie. Jackie, hi, how are you?
Cheers.
Hello, Niall. How are you?
Good. I've only got a couple of minutes, Jackie, so we're going to have to unfortunately make it quick. Who makes the purchasing deals in your house?
Well, I was only on to, and I'm only on my own now. But
oh, yeah, where's
we both
Adi?
make
Where's
purchases.
Adi gone?
Ado, that's my friend, Ado.
Ado, he's
That's
not, drink,
me. You know,
he's not
remember
drinking
we were on
tonight.
last night?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have leftovers from last night.
All right, okay. So,
No, I
so
thought about
Jackie,
chat now,
when you were married, and once again, sorry, I know your husband passed away.
No,
only
you're
recently.
fine.
So when you were married and everything was good and the few quid was coming in every now and again and whatever have it, would you make a purchase without telling the other half, or would you always run it past each other?
No, especially if a bargain came up, we just went ahead. Like we paid the bills together, and we had our own for Bob. He was on for Bob, and we spent something or whatever. And see the chap that bought that telly for that money, deadly bargain.
$350.
And here, if he wants us, yeah, we give him $250 for the telly, and he can beat the DVD.
Who buys a DVD player anymore? Who?
No, nobody does. But come here, $350 for a 65-inch telly is deadly. And
It is. It's a good deal, isn't it?
It is. Good deal, and he did, and especially if he said she doesn't question when she goes off, spends a few quid or whatever.
On her
Do you know what
hair,
I mean?
yeah.
They both walk, and I have to say, fair play to him. No, I feel sorry for the poor bloke if he has to fucking have a, how would you say?
It's like a meeting every time. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do. I have to say I do.
Yeah.
And shame on you not having a radio. I have a radio.
Have you got
we
a
all
radio?
have a radio.
Oh,
yeah,
I know.
I
have. Oh, Jesus,
I
Martin.
brought up on the radio.
Martin, do you have a radio?
Me? Oh, I've radios all over the place. Because, as I said before, television doesn't walk around corners. If you're listening, if you're trying to engage with a television, you have to really be there. But radio, you can be in any room of the house and walk out, and you're still engaged with it. But I would just like to say...
No, by the way, I agree with you, by the way, about television. Television, I always said this thing when I'm talking to students who move into radio for the first time. The difference in radio and television, right? Television, you can see, thousands of images on a screen. But radio paints a million images in your head.
Yeah.
So it's much different. And I do a little experiment every now and again. I'm going to do it very quickly before the news. Do you want to hear my little radio experiment? Right.
Absolutely.
Okay, so are you ready, Jackie?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Okay. So there's this woman, right? And she's walking down the road. She's kind of older woman. And she's got 2 bags of shopping in her hand. It's a really busy road. It's a cold day. She decides she needs to get across to the other side. So she turns, stands at the edge of the footpath. She walks across. Next minute, a car slams on the brakes. Just missed her. With the fright, she drops the bags on the ground. Okay?
Yeah.
Jackie, what colour coat was she wearing?
I don't know. We wouldn't buy the fucking smash bag.
It's okay. But Martin, what colour coat was she wearing?
I would have said a grey coat.
Yeah. Do you know what colour hair she had, Jackie?
I know, I was standing in the air when she dropped the shopping.
What I know. But what was in the shopping? Did you see anything on the road?
I know it smashed. It must have been a jar.
People always say things like to me, tins of peas, right, or oranges, right, and she had grey hair, and see that this is what I explain about my radio experiment. So people listening start to envisage the scene in their head, but everybody has a different scene. And that's what radio does.
It's better communicating, I think. I don't know. I think talking is better communication. And that's just the way it is. And I have to drive back and forth to my man every day. I look after her back and forth. And I have classic hits on all day long. That's why we're listening to tonight. I used to listen during the day, but you shift to the night, fair dues to you. We set my friend to listen to the radio rather than watch the telly.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
No, you're right. Yeah, sorry, Martin. Very quickly, I have 20 seconds. Go for it.
Yeah, very quickly, if I could say, I think that was a very judicial purchase, actually, because he got a 60-inch or a 66-inch or whatever it was television. That's not a smart television. You made a comment about Alexa or whatever it was there earlier on. I don't have a television, but if I was going to have a television, I would certainly never have a television that has a microphone built into it to listen into every word I or anyone else is saying.
Some of the tellies now have cameras built into them as well.
Yeah, I think that was a.
I spoke to Will Geddes, who's a cybersecurity expert. Only recently, I had him on the air, and I was talking to Will, and Will is one of the best in cybersecurity in the world. Right? He's been hired by some of the biggest companies in the world, and if it's any indication, when I said to him, is Alexa really listening to us and watching us? He said, "Well, I'll give you." He said, "I'll answer this one way." He said, "I wouldn't buy one."
Yeah. He's absolutely right.
Real people, real opinions, Real Talk Radio. The multi-award winning Niall Boylan Show.
Ireland's classic hits.